I'm Sean Flaherty. I'm a first-year associate here at Coast Law Group. I went to Santa Clara as an undergrad. I was a civil engineering major. Got some experience in the Bay Area, worked for a general contracting firm, and then after that decided to go to law school. Some of the things I had learned in working in the construction industry was that there was a lot of law involved, a lot of fighting back and forth, and some of the decisions, the higher end decisions that were made in the company were made by the attorneys, or at least they had some important influence in those decisions. And so I said I'd like to pair my technical background with some legal training, and decided to go to law school. Went to law school here at the University of San Diego, just down the road. I went and I clerked my first year at a plaintiff's firm downtown LA, my second year at a defense firm in Orange County, and then took the bar, was successful, luckily first time, and when I got done with the bar, started to hit the ground running, and wanted to really find a firm, a local firm in San Diego. I just fallen in love with the area, and so I wanted to find a firm down here that kind of fit my, I won't say talents, but my skill set, and work for a firm in San Diego. I'm primarily intellectual property. My practice is about 65% transactional and maybe 35% litigation. So we do licensing deals for companies. A lot of the clients we have here are action sports companies, BMX, surf, motocross, that sort of thing. The type of stuff you'd see at the X Games.
Cool.
And so we'll do licensing deals for them, whether it's their brand, whether it's their likeness, their image, try and get those elements of their intellectual property portfolio, protected on the transactional side, file for trademarks, file for copyrights, and then go ahead and try and license those with product manufacturers to try and increase their revenue stream. And then in cases where we have counterfeiting or other problems, then we may have to litigate and bring those folks to the table. The job search coming out of school, graduating in 2010, is tough. I'm sure graduating in 2011 or 2012 is going to be just as challenging. I was fortunate enough to tap my personal network for my first summer job, and then kind of use that as a springboard to my second summer job. And both of those jobs, they were at great firms in LA and Orange County, and offered me positions to come back. The door is still open at those firms. I still maintain great relationships with those folks. But I was looking for something else. I wanted something a little bit smaller. I wanted something where you could approach any of the partners. You knew everyone in the office. Wasn't a multinational firm. And I wanted something in San Diego. And so as unwise as it might have been, I chose not to accept either one of those offers, and I decided to kind of go my own and try and find something in San Diego. And looking back, it was very wise, because I found Coast Law Group through actually an internet listing, a posting, and that was for a short-term contract position. And I said, first, I need to get the interview, and I was lucky enough to get that. Second, I needed to impress the hiring folks here. Lucky enough to do that. And then third, I said, once I get this, no expectations, but I know that once I prove myself, they're not going to want to let me go. And that's ultimately what happened. And shortly after my results came back from the bar exam, I was extended an offer to be an associate here. So I took a pretty non-traditional route to reject what was offered, and then go out and kind of look for something that fit me, as opposed to trying to make myself fit into another organization. There's a lot of things I wish I'd known. Set your expectations for yourself high, but don't necessarily set a ceiling or a basement, I guess would be either way to put it, in that a situation or an opportunity that may not look on its face like it's a great situation may work out to be something really special. Conversely, something that looks like it's going to be fantastic may be an awful job. I know tons of folks that are in big name firms that really don't enjoy what they're doing. I know tons of folks that are in smaller firms that really enjoy what they're doing. And certainly there's the reverse happens as well, where people end up at a small firm, they hate it, or people end up at a large firm and they love it. But the point being that to just be open to everything and every opportunity, at least see it through to the end, to see where it may lead, because you might strike up a relationship with an individual, or you might find that you just walk into a place and you really feel good about it. And that can happen anywhere. That can happen at a big firm, a small firm. That can happen with any person you meet on the street. And so I would say to really not limit yourself. Some people started going down a certain path, and then they couldn't find opportunities in that either area of the law or that geographic area or whatever it might be, and they were limiting themselves too much. And the folks that were successful in finding jobs in a tough economy were the folks that were willing to chase every lead. And that means both geographically saying, I'm willing to work here, 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 and here, and then also in terms of practice to say, okay, you need me to do IP? Maybe I haven't done that, but I'll learn it. Or you want me to do some family law? Okay, that's not what I was thinking, but that's fine if that's what it means to be part of the team. So really to not limit yourself. You come out of law school with a very diverse skill set. It's shallow, but it's wide. And then throughout the course of your career, and I'm not one to talk, but as people tell me, throughout the course of your career, you develop more depth and you narrow. So as a first year associate, or as somebody looking to become an associate, to be as wide and as shallow as possible. Hey, I can do anything, I can learn anything, I've taken all these classes, and I'm ready to jump headfirst into whatever opportunity is given to me. So that would be my biggest piece of advice, and something I wish I had known, because a lot of folks said, oh, you're an engineer, you did law school, go be a patent attorney. And that's kind of what I chased down, and the situations, the opportunities just weren't there for me. But in other areas of IP, copyright, licensing, trademarks, there was an opportunity, and so I decided to take that. Yes and no. It depends on how, there's a spectrum, and so I think I would have a really hard time finding a job in criminal defense, having done a lot of IP, but there's a lot of crossover between IP and corporate law, corporate governance, whatever it might be. Sorry, that's the boss speaking in. So if doing a lot of IP work does cross over into areas of business transaction or business formation or other civil proceedings, counterfeiting. So it depends on how far on the spectrum you are. So if you do a lot of IP, I think that you still have a very broad base from which to draw. If you do a lot of criminal law, that may transfer over into federal jurisdiction or federal courts to be a clerk for a judge, or to do family law, or any number of other things. But I don't think that specializing in anything can do you harm, I guess, in any respect, because there's a lot of people that come out of law school. You can tell we're very casual at the firm here. The other boss decides to make me laugh. So I'll say that again. I don't think that specializing in anything in particular can take away from your law school education in terms of being able to apply that in a business setting or in a law firm, because if you take classes you're passionate about, you're going to do better in those classes. And if you do better in those classes, your transcript's going to look better. And having that nice, solid, clean transcript is going to be as important to employers as the classes you took. The fact that you can do well in whatever you take, people are going to look upon that and say, oh, he took this class, he did really well in it. Well, he can, maybe he hasn't or she hasn't studied this other item, but his past performance of being good at whatever he or she tries is going to apply equally well in this field. So no, I don't think that it limits your scope at all. Disasters. Sending in a headshot, a picture with your resume can be disastrous. I've heard that it works for some, but I think you're rolling the dice. I heard of somebody taking all of their rejection letters, and in each of those rejection letters it said, something to the effect of, we've reviewed your outstanding credentials, but we don't have a spot, or despite the fact you're so accomplished, X, Y, or Z, they rolled that into an endorsement and said, Latham and Watkins has noted that I'm an outstanding applicant, and Wilson, Goodrich, Cincini has noted that I have superior academic credentials, and he or she, I forgot who it was, made a list of all the attributes that all these rejection letters had noted of him, and then said, because all these firms said these wonderful things about me, this is why you should hire me. I think that made for a good laugh. I don't know if it was effective. But yeah, I think gimmicks is probably just the stuff to stay away from. People that's, I think people do the same thing with college applications. They send in a shoe and they say, "Now I've got my foot through the door." Something like that. So I'd stay away from gimmicks, but that doesn't mean not to be original or not to really try and make your individuality shine through your application. If you are an individual, you're really interested or really devoted or really passionate about a certain subject, and that firm specializes in that subject, then I think by all means you want to make sure that your individuality and your passion for whatever that might be comes into the application, and so that the person reviewing your application knows that, oh, this is a person that's going to fit in with the corporate culture at this firm, and whatever reason that might be.